Hello, welcome to Dungeon Drolls Podcast. I'm your host Justin. Today we're reviewing the new 52 book, Earth 2, Volume 1, The Gathering, written by James Robinson, with art by Nicola Scott and Trevor Scott. And boy, do we not have a good track record with James Robinson. And this is actually a book I read back in the day that I fucking hated. That made me quit comics, because this is basically when the woke stuff first started to happen. And even back in the day, even the shills thought this book sucked. But I guess DC and Marvel were like, fuck it, we'll keep doing they experimented with the woke stuff here, but they still ran with it. Years later, or not too many years, because when did this first come out? 2012 or 2013? Let me double check. 2012. This collects issues 1 through 6 of Earth 2. And what sucks about this book is it starts off really good, right? Because it starts off, it takes place in an alternate reality, and this book is basically kind of like a relaunching of the old Earth 2 universe, where, like, because back in the day, a lot of the Golden Age superheroes and the DC Silver Age superheroes were together, and then at some point they were like, okay, I think it was like in the 60s or something, or 50s, they were like, let's put we'll put the old Golden Age characters in that aren't popular, because technically Superman and Batman are Golden Age characters. They put like the non-popular Golden Age characters in like Earth 2, and then the popular Golden Age and the new Silver Age characters at the time in Earth 1, right? This book is about, basically, it's very reminiscent of the Justice League movie, right? Where it's like, where Apocalypse, like Steppenwolf, has invaded with his parademons, right? And the only superheroes that can stop him are Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, right? There is no Flash or Green Lantern, right? And there's a female Robin in this book, and there is Supergirl as well. You also have the Earth has become basically one nation government, or one world government, I should say. And they've all band together to fight the parademons. Batman has come up with a plan to finally stop the invasion, right? But all hell breaks loose in this invasion, in their plan. Superman and Wonder Woman get killed, which is a great scene where Super Wonder Woman gets killed. She gets backstabbed, critical hits by Steppenwolf. He must have worked on his stealth. He went the rogue route here. Oh, look at her face, man. Oh my god. Oh, and it's applied. Something weird I will say about this book is that they name drop the gods, the Greek gods in here, but they go by their Roman names. So I don't know if what's going on there. If in this alternate universe they're not the Greek gods, they're the Roman gods. So it's like, what the fuck is going on there? I don't know. Because really, there's a character named Mercury, right? So yeah, our characters sacrifice themselves. They save the world, and it time skips to 5 years later, where there's peace. You get introduced to Alan Scott, who doesn't have his superpowers and is successful, has a successful newspaper. Which when we last reviewed a JSA book, I forget what it was called, but it was from the 70s. His newspaper was not doing so well. And there's a plot twist with this Alan Scott, which we'll get to. You also have Jay Garrick, who's a young college graduate whose girlfriend Joan, who in the other universe was they were together for 60 years or whatever, breaks up with him because he's It's like very MGTOW-ish here, where she breaks up with him because she feels that he's going nowhere in life. uh, so yeah, like Jay Garrick meets the Mercury, or also known as Hermes, right, and gives him, who's dying, who was captured by this evil character, who they set up as Terry Sloan, which I think that was a JSA character, but I would have to look it up. Who's dying and gives his powers of speed to Jay Garrick. There's his Flash costume, right? Also, Mr. Terrific from a different world shows up for randomly and meets the bad guy of this book, Terry Sloan, who was that the original Mr. Terrific? Because there was a Mr. Terrific before this guy, right? And he kills him because he feels like Mr. Terrific is a threat by hacking his T-spheres, and they turn on him, right? Also, there's Alan Scott kissing a Chinese man from Hong Kong. Oy vey. Yep. Yeah, they made Alan Scott gay. They made Alan Scott gay. Which I totally forgot that Alan Scott was gay. That they turned him gay here, because I remember someone did a video saying like, where they were talking about all the DC characters that are gay now, and I think this is back in June, and Alan Scott was on the cover, and I'm like, why is Alan Scott gay? He's not gay. His son is gay. Apparently, they took the old Alan Scott character, not this one, the old Alan Scott character, who was married for like God knows how many years, and they turned him gay. So, whatever. Also, they made Hawkgirl biracial or black. I'm not 100% sure. Right. So what happens is, Green Lantern gets like bombed, and his boyfriend dies while they're traveling a plane, not on a train. Sorry. And the Green shows up. The Green from the New 52's, like, the power of nature. Here, it's a green flame, and chooses Alan Scott to be the Green Knight, or Jade Champion, and he becomes the Green Lantern. Right? But because he became the Green Lantern, that summons the other force that opposes the green, and it's not the rot or the black here, it's the gray. So you basically have this superpowered Grundy, who is the champion of the gray, which is their version of the black. Also, there's a shoulder here, who is basically the Atom, but they changed his powers a bit. He can. This character's a dwarf, by the way, and he can turn into like a giant with atomic power. So all these characters team up to fight this guy who's sucking sucking all the life energy from plants, and the world will be destroyed in 2 days unless they defeat him, right? Which I'm not gonna spoil how, but you also have the Atom. Who is like what was he, the uncle of the Atom Smasher from the 90s and 2000s? I don't know. Yeah, so like he also is he's part of the world government, and is trying to bring in like the new superheroes, which they call them Wonders, right? Yeah, so I'm not going to spoil what's going on. I will say you have like this Terry Sloan shows up trying to take over the Sentinel, which is this world's shield, right? Or Argus, as it's called in New 52. And this guy's in charge and hates this guy because he knows what a bad guy he is. And Sloan got the idea of, hey, let's nuke Grundy, right? And like while our characters are still there, which our characters eventually win. Yeah, so I have volume. The reason why I'm reviewing this, guys, is because I bought like volume 2 for like dirt cheap, and I kind of want to see what happened, right? So the book, I'll go for the positives. One, the story is decent. I really like the story. It starts off really good. There's lots of cool action, gore, cool fights. And the art by Nicola Scott is good. I'll give it that. Some of the designs are great. Like Jim Lee did the Batman design. Everybody else was by Nicola Scott. Also, Sandman is here, right? The Dodge Sandman, which is part of some elite U.S. task force, where like where is it? There it is. So you can see. That's not what it looks like in the finished project in the book, but you know it's pretty similar. So yeah, the bad part about this book, the dialogue is fucking awful. They race swapped, they gender swapped, not gender swapped. They race swapped. They changed the sexual orientation of beloved characters. And it gets really cringe in some of the romance scenes. Because there's literally a scene where, like, Green Lantern Alan Scott goes into the talk to the Grey, right? And all of the other characters are defending his body while fighting Grundy. And Green Lantern's like their last hope. And the Green Lantern gets offered his dead boyfriend, right? To let the world get destroyed, which makes no sense. And like for a while, he's just hanging out with his dead boyfriend, and it's like, what the fuck? Eventually, he realized, oh yeah, I'm making a terrible mistake, and gets out. And it's like it's so stupid because it turns out, to defeat Grundy, he didn't even need to go talk to the Grey because once he realizes that Grundy's source of power is also from the Earth, just like mine. I can just put him in space, and that ends the battle. So it kind of ends anticlimactically, right? So that was dumb. I'm sorry I spoiled that when I said I didn't want to spoil it, but it was like, wow, dude. So it turns out he didn't even need to. I guess it's like, he got he only was able to figure out how to beat Grundy by talking with the Grey. But like whatever. There's some good things about this book, but there's a lot of bad things as well. The only way I can recommend this book if you get it for dirt cheap, right? I think I'm being generous when I say I give this a 5 out of 10, even though this book made me almost quit comic. This book made me quit comics for 8 years or some shit like that. I don't know. It was like I was picking up like random stuff here and there, but like I stayed away for comics, the fandom for like 8 years, right? So like fuck this book. But I'm going to review the sequel at some point. Yeah. So so our next review is either going to be Ant-Man or Superior Foes of Spider-Man. I have to check the comments because I literally just made this video after I did the Ninjak review. So we'll know. We'll find out later what the next review is. But I'll put in the description of this video what the next review is. So yeah, that's it, guys, for this video.